The Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with the voices of 200 representatives from across the known universe. Floating platforms arranged in concentric rings held delegates of every conceivable form, crystalline entities that communicated through light patterns, gaseous beings contained in pressurized suits, and multi-limbed creatures whose exoskeletons clicked as they gestured. At the center of the lowest ring sat High Chancellor Vrex, his 6 eyes surveying the chamber with ancient wisdom. The Drolak race had led the council for millennia, their natural telepathic abilities making them ideal mediators between disparate species. The council recognizes Ambassador Keel Vrath of the Taurian hegemony, Vrex announced, his deep voice amplified throughout the chamber. A massive, bull-like being rose from his platform, towering at nearly 3 meters tall. His armored hide bore the scars of countless battles, each one meticulously preserved as a badge of honor. "Esteemed colleagues," Kelvrath began, his voice a rumbling bass, "I speak today to oppose humanity's petition for increased representation. For 40 years, they have hidden behind their technological shields, deploying unmanned drones and automated defense systems, rather than facing their adversaries with honor." Murmurs of agreement rippled through several delegations. "The hegemony has observed human combat tactics closely," he continued. "They strike from orbit rather than face enemies directly. They prioritize minimal casualties over honorable engagement. They program machines to fight rather than send warriors. By the sacred traditions of combat, upheld by every warrior race in this council, humans are cowards." Earth's ambassador, Dr. Sarah Chen, waited patiently as Keel Vrath enumerated humanity's supposed failings. As a veteran diplomat, she had heard these criticisms before. When the Taurian finally finished his lengthy denunciation, she rose from her seat. "The Council recognizes Ambassador Chen of Earth," Vrex announced. "Thank you, High Chancellor," Chen said calmly. "The Taurian perspective is noted, if predictable. Ambassador Kelvrath mistakes tactical wisdom for cowardice, efficiency for dishonor. Humans do not share the hegemony's ritual view of warfare. We view it as a failure of diplomacy to be resolved as efficiently as possible." Kelvrath snorted derisively. "Pretty words to disguise the absence of courage." Chen smiled slightly. "Perhaps a demonstration would be more persuasive than debate. Earth proposes a challenge under Section 47 of the Council Charter, the trial of proxies." A shocked silence fell over the chamber. The trial of proxies was an ancient provision, rarely invoked, that allowed disputes between species to be settled through champions, rather than full-scale conflict. High Chancellor Vrex leaned forward with interest. "You wish to send a human champion against a Taurian warrior? Their average physical strength exceeds yours by a factor of 7. "We do," Chen confirmed. "A single human against any champion the hegemony wishes to select." Kelvrath's booming laugh echoed through the chamber. "We accept. Our champion, Gorg Saul, has defeated opponents from 17 worlds. Name the weapons, human. Let us see if your species can at least die with dignity." "No weapons," Chen replied calmly. "Unarmed combat only." The chamber erupted in astonished whispers. Even Vrex seemed taken aback. "Ambassador Chen, are you certain?" "Without technological advantages." "We are certain, Chancellor. Our champion will arrive tomorrow." The combat arena beneath the council spire had been designed to accommodate battles between vastly different species. Environmental force fields could adjust to create optimal conditions for any combatant, while quantum-locked observation platforms allowed spectators to watch in perfect safety. Nearly every council member had arranged to witness the spectacle. Most came expecting to see a human swiftly and brutally defeated, but protocol demanded their presence to witness even an obviously one-sided contest. Kelvrath's champion entered first. Gorg Saul was even larger than his sponsor, with reinforced horns tipped in metal alloy and hooves that cracked the arena floor with each step. His hide, naturally tough, had been further enhanced with subcutaneous armor implants, legal modifications under the trial's ancient rules. "Where is your champion?" Kelvrath demanded, turning to Chen. "Has their courage failed already?" "She is here," Chen replied. A small side door opened, and a human figure entered the arena. She was of average height for her species, perhaps 170 centimeters, dressed in a fitted black garment that covered her from neck to feet. Her face was partially obscured by a mask that covered her from nose to neck. She wore no armor, carried no weapons, and moved with silent, fluid grace. Laughter rippled through the Taurian delegation. "This is your champion. She is half the size of Gorgsol's arm." The human Himiko Watanabe, 34, the generation inheritor of the Watanabe ninjutsu tradition, said nothing. She bowed formally to the council, then opponent, before assuming relaxed stance center of the arena. High Chancellor Vrex raised his arms by ancient custom. This trial of proxies will determine the status of humanity's petition. Combat will continue until one participant yields or is rendered unconscious. There will be no interference. He paused, then dropped his arms. "Begin." Gorgthal charged immediately, his massive form building momentum like a living battering ram. Himiko remained motionless until the last possible instant, then moved, not dodging exactly, but shifting her body just enough that the Taurian's charge missed by millimeters. As he thundered past, her hands struck out with blinding speed, fingers extended in a precise formation that connected with an area just behind his ear. Gorgsol stumbled, momentarily disoriented. He shook his massive head and turned, confusion evident in his expression. No opponent had ever evaded his opening charge. The Taurian attacked again, this time with more caution, throwing calculated punches that could shatter concrete. Himiko's movements became a fluid dance of evasion. She never blocked directly, her body simply wasn't there when his fists arrived. Each time she passed close to him, her fingers struck specific points on his anatomy with surgical precision. At first, the council members couldn't understand what was happening. The human appeared to be doing nothing but avoiding damage, while occasionally delivering strikes that seemed insignificant against the Taurian's mass. But gradually, Gorgsthal's movements began to slow. His right arm hung awkwardly at his side. His breathing became labored. "What trickery is this?" Kelvrath demanded, rising from his observation platform. "No trickery," Chen replied. "Just knowledge. Humans have studied the pressure points and nervous systems of every council species for decades. We call it ninjutsu, the art of unconventional warfare." 7 minutes into the combat, Gorgsal could barely move. His right side was completely paralyzed, and his left leg buckled with each step. The mighty Taurian, who had never known defeat, dropped to one knee in the center of the arena, his breathing ragged. Himiko approached him calmly from the front, making no attempt at stealth or deception. She placed 2 fingers against a point at the base of his throat, a clear indication that she could end the match fatally if she chose. "I yield," Gorgsal gasped, the words clearly painful to pronounce. Silence consumed the council chamber. Himiko bowed to her opponent respectfully, then turned and bowed to the council, before walking calmly from the arena. "The effects are temporary," Chen explained to the assembled council 2 hours later. "Your champion will recover fully within 24 hours. No permanent damage has been done." High Chancellor Vrex studied the human ambassador thoughtfully. "This ninja. She used no technology? No hidden weapons or enhancers?" "None," Chen confirmed. "Only knowledge, training, and skill refined over generations. What you witnessed is one of Earth's oldest traditions of combat, dating back millennia before achieved spaceflight. But your species primarily uses drones and automated systems in actual conflict." One counselor objected. "Of course we do," Chen replied, because value life both our own and our adversaries. We use technology because it's efficient and minimizes casualties. But make no mistake, our choice to avoid direct combat is not because we fear it or lack the capacity for it. Kulvrath, subdued since his champion's defeat, finally spoke. Why did you not reveal these capabilities before now? Chen smiled. Because a true warrior never boasts of their skill until it's necessary to demonstrate it. Another principle of ninjutsu. High Chancellor Rex's expression was unreadable, activated the formal voting sequence. The Council will now vote on humanity's petition for increased representation. The holographic tally appeared above the central dais, the results unanimous for the first time in Council history. Humanity's petition is granted, Rex announced. I believe I speak for the entire Council when I say that we look forward to learning more about human culture. As the session adjourned, various Council representatives approached Chen with newfound respect, asking about human martial traditions, training methodologies, and philosophical approaches to combat. Quiet corner of the chamber, Himiko Watanabe stood silently, watching the proceedings with calm detachment. She served her purpose, revealing just enough of humanity's capabilities to earn respect without revealing all. After all, the first principle of ninjutsu was deception, and Earth had many more surprises should the need arise reveal them.